Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today on our weekly show, Comics from the Future. We are super excited to tell you about new series launching, some cool covers we don't want you to miss, and other things that are on the final order cutoff this week. In case you don't know, my name's Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
As I said, we're going to show you stuff from several different publishers, and lots of our customers, for example, jot down what they like each week, give us their orders for a lot of stores, and DC orders are due on Sunday, and Marvel and the rest are due on Monday. So talk with your local store, see what they need from you, and this is your chance to guarantee to get what you want.
All right, so let's get to our featured comics, starting with a new #1 from Marvel. It is Strange, #1. This time it's not Doctor
I was
Strange.
about to say, what's the name of it? I know it's a strange book, but what is it?
That is the name.
Oh.
So, yes, this time, Stephen Strange is dead. He died in, surprise, surprise, Death of Doctor Strange, which just ended. And so there needs to be a new Sorcerer Supreme. In fact, it's actually a new Sorceress Supreme. It's Clea. She is taking over as Earth Sorcerer Supreme, and she gets her own comic written by Jed MacKay, who is the person who did Death of Doctor Strange, so this kind of spins right out of that. And she wants to bring Stephen back to life, which makes complete sense. However, before she can, a new evil arises. And if there's anything we learned in Death of Doctor Strange had a lot of irons in the fire. The minute he died, all kinds of things went haywire. So she's having to control all of that, and that's why she can't really, set her time on how to bring him back, if it's even possible. So that's sort of the setup right here. So a new Sorceress Supreme with Strange #1, and we got several covers to it. Here is the ARTGERM variant. Cool to see Clea with the, all the gear.
I know she's like, and while I'm here, I'm going to raid your closet.
And then here is the J. Scott Campbell variant. And here is the Scotty Young variant. Too much robe.
Really strong covers on these.
And after that, there's also a Carnage Forever variant. They're doing a Carnage Forever variant series, but they didn't have the cover ready. So this is your chance to order it, even though we don't have it to show it to you.
I'm assuming this series is going to do a good job at explaining who this character is. Because I know she's from way back, like not too long after Stephen Strange's first appearance is hers. So she's been in the world for a while.
Yeah, she's like his former betrothed, and she got her memories erased a while ago, and she's been like a Sorcerer Supreme for some other area, and they brought her back, gave her memories so she could help figure out who killed Doctor Strange in this last series.
Cool.
So if you read Doctor Strange, you know who she is by now, but you're right, a lot of new readers, I think they'll get us up to speed with the issue 1.
And next up is a book I've been waiting for because Aquaman has not had his own title in a while now. And now he has to share it, but that's okay. This is Aquamen #1. So this is kind of a team book, I would say, with Arthur and Jackson Hyde. And we're going to get characters like Tempest and like the whole Aqua family. Mera is going to be in there. Because this is spinning out of Black Manta and Aquaman the Becoming, the 2 miniseries, with the writers of those collaborating on this as well. So it's by Chuck Brown and Brandon Thomas writing this. And if you read those, you know that there's been some stuff going on in Atlantis, some attacks, and now there is a sleeper agent that has awoken in Middle America. That is an Atlantean sleeper agent. But this is not good news because it doesn't seem like it's just a one-time event. This is happening kind of a widespread chain reaction. And maybe Aquaman knows more about this than he's leading on. So there is a conspiracy or a secret that he's been keeping from Mera, from the rest of Atlantis, from the Justice League, everybody, that if it comes out could really mess with the kind of status quo and everything of Atlantis and Aquaman's family. So I'm very excited about this. For right now, it's an ongoing. It doesn't say it's a #1 of whatever. I'll be interested to see how that goes because we know there's some shakeups coming with Justice League members coming up in Justice League 75.
Yeah, that's right.
There is in one of the covers a casket with the Aquaman A on it, so I don't know if the other ones are going to take over this spot. We'll have to see. But I'm very excited about this. Glad Aquaman is back with his own title. So this is our A cover. Then we have our KAEL New variant. We have our Nick Robles variant. We have our Alexis Franklin Black History Month variant. And then there is a blank cover with a nice, I don't know, like a Caribbean ocean color on it.
The aqua gradient.
Yeah, you have your favorite artist draw bubbles.
Next up is a new indie series, Step by Bloody Step. This is from Image Comics. It's going to be a 4-parter. This seems really cool and unique. It is written by Simon Spurrier with art by Matthias Lopez. And the premise is, this is going to be really cool. So the premise is about this armored iron giant and a young kid who are companions. They have a bond. They're both lost souls traveling together. They are traveling through a world of beasts and bandits, and they are, for reasons that are mysterious to us now, forced to walk the earth. They can't stop, or they'll be spurred on. I'm assuming in a bloody fashion. But anyway, it is going to be all, it's a silent comic. There will be no text as far as dialogue or anything. So that is one unique real aspect of this. It's also going to be, like I said, 4 parts, but each is double-sized issue. And they didn't jack up the price or anything too much. So yeah, they have no language, they have no memory, they only have each other. So I was excited about what I've seen of this so far. It looks pretty cool. The armored giant looks really cool as well. I was wondering, and Jason, you may be able to remember this, there was another, I don't know if it was silent or if it was about animals, and it was a comic series that came out a few years back. It was either a silent comic or the animals had their own language. Anyway, I was taken aback at first, but after reading several issues, it was actually really good. So they're really trying to do something good with the medium of comics in this. So don't be put off that it doesn't have text. It's a really thoughtful story. It sounds like fantasy series and all that. So let's see another cover. So that is our cover A, and this is cover B. Get a more
It's a super cool design.
Get a more detailed look of the giant. Like I said, very cool.
It's like a mix of like Iron Giant and that game where you climb up the Titans. Whatever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus.
That's a very Shadow of the Colossus vibes.
If any of you remember that series I'm talking about.
There was We 3 that was an animal one by Grant Morrison.
It was indie. I don't remember, but let me know in the comments if I remember there were monkeys in it. That's all I remember.
Sounds like a dream you had.
Yeah, could be.
Okay, and I'm sure it's not Primordial because that is still going on.
No, this was at least 3 years ago.
Okay, so our next one, check this out. What If comics are back and Miles Morales is getting his own mini-series within What If? So this is a 5-part series, and the first one is, what if Miles Morales, instead of being bitten by a radioactive spider, instead he was trained by the government and they gave him the super soldier serum. So he became Captain America in this other universe. So that's what this one shot is about. And it kind of hints in the solicitation. It's like, and are there other Miles in the multi-universe who turned into other heroes? Well, I can already confirm yes, because issue number 2's cover is already available, and it shows him as Wolverine. So I think each one of these is going to be a one-shot with Miles as him turning into a different hero. You know, because at the core of a hero, you got to have somebody who's heroic. And Miles already has that in him. He's a heroic sort of individual. So I can't wait to see him as these different characters. I mean, they got me on this. I read it. I read the solicitation. I'm like, yep, getting all these. So
he wasn't bitten by a radioactive American flag, and the next one, an actual Wolverine bites him.
Okay, so this is the regular cover. Then here is the Andrews variant.
That's cool.
Then we have the Coello variant. And lastly, the STELFREEZE variant is not ready yet, but this is the only chance to order it, so If you think it's going to be good, place your orders.
Marvel has really learned their what if stuff and the kind of mashing of characters.
Yep.
Very successful.
I was happy that it's a 5-parter, so
Mm-hmm.
not just a one shot.
Next up is a book called The Killer, Affairs of State. So you may have heard of the series The Killer. It's originally French, but what's big about this is it is soon to be a Netflix original movie directed by David Fincher, and Fassbender is attached to possibly play our unnamed killer. They just referred to him as the killer or killer in the kind of description of it. But that was a series back in 1998, and this is kind of bringing us back into that world. This is going to be a 6-issue miniseries. It sounds cool because this killer, who was just kind of like a hired assassin, now works for the French government as kind of a on-call assassin. But he has to have like the civilian life in the meantime. As you can see here, he's got like a desk job and everything until he's called upon. And in this one, he's going to be getting a partner and kind of stuff where he usually works alone, so there's going to be a lot of conflict. But it sounds really cool, and it's cool because there's going to be the movie. So this is a great place to get into the series before that comes out. This is our A cover. And then I really like this one. This is the John Boy Myers variant.
It's funny when something gets optioned before like the new comic for it's out, because people will often ignore it, and then once the Netflix thing hits, all of a sudden everybody's like looking for it. So I can't say I'm familiar with the Killer stuff. I'll have to look into
Apparently
that.
It was released,
really cool.
as like a lot of European comics and everything is like graphic novels, and then when it came to the U.S., it was broken up into more individualized issues.
I'll never forget David Fincher for 7, though.
Yeah. Okay, you may have missed your opportunity to get some of these on the shelf, so some issues have gone back to second printing, so I'm going to show you a few now. They're important enough for us to feature. This is Hulk number 3, the OTTLEY second printing variant. It got very popular because it was the first cameo of a villain who was referred to as being Hulk's Null. Okay, so
only
that's
a comic book person would understand that sentence.
Yeah. So Hulk's Null, first cameo in Hulk number 3. So if you did not get that issue, this is the second printing of it. Next up, Strange Academy 15, second printing. This was the first cover appearance of Gaslamp and the first brief appearance of Eva, a new student at Strange Academy. And then lastly, we have Thor 21. This was the origin of the God of Hammers. So this is going to be the second printing for Thor 21, the Klein second printing variant.
Yeah, Marvel just happened to have a few home runs with these issues, so I'm glad they're rushing them back for second print.
And speaking of, we're having a very different kind of featured comic section this time. This is actually Star Wars 21, the Sprouse variant. And of course, we wanted to bring this up because Darth Vader number 20 erupted the fan community with having basically the first appearance of Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and Grogu. And thankfully, they're continuing with this, and they actually let us see the cover early. Usually, these Sprouse covers we don't see really until they come in the shipment. But they let us see this first, and this is some of the supporting characters from Season 1. This is IG-11 and KOELLO on a blurg. So this is super exciting. We're getting more first appearances. About to sneeze. I'm so excited. It's erupting out of me. Yeah, you should shield yourself.
We're not editing that out.
Nope, that is there to stay. So this is cool. And also in this issue, it is about Shara Bay, who is actually Poe Dameron's mother, and she has been kind of in hiding on a Star Destroyer, and she's been living on there for a long time as she's being hunted by Commander Zara. So it sounds like an interesting, maybe a one-shot story almost, or kind of what another character's doing. But I think a lot of people will be picking this up because it is, again, a first cover appearance of some characters, IG-11 and KOELLO from The Mandalorian.
All right, our last featured comic is Follow Me Into the Darkness. Now, if this looks familiar, maybe you're one of the people who picked up the 55,000 copies that issue number 1 of You Promised Me Darkness, the
Yes.
previous series, sold. So, yeah, it sold 55,000 of its number 1, and that's why we thought this would be a good one to feature. It's from Behemoth Comics. This takes place directly at the end, right after the last series ended. It is now less than a day until the apocalypse, and we get to follow the characters to see if there's any hope left at all. So here is your chance to order Follow Me Into the Darkness number 1. It's going to be a 4-issue series, quite possibly wrapping it up. Who knows? There's several covers. It's all done by Connolly, who's the main creator and artist. So here's your B cover. And then we have a C cover, and lastly, a D cover. And now we're going to get to other number 1s.
Because there's still more.
All right, Devil's Reign, Moon Knight. The one-shot spinning out of Devil's Reign are still a-comin', and this one is sure to be popular with Moon Knight series doing stellar. So, this is the cover A for Devil's Reign, Moon Knight, the one-shot. And this is the U variant for it as well. What happened in Devil's Reign 3, guys? Because I've gotten like 3 phone calls today for it. We ran out. Tell me what happened. I got a lot of requests for you in the comments. Come, don't leave me hanging.
Next up, a new Transformers miniseries. This is Transformers Wars End number 1. This is kind of a companion comic to what's currently going on in the Transformers series. And in this, Exarchon, the Transformer who was basically responsible for one of the original wars on Cybertron, is back among the living and is wreaking havoc, about to start another war. And so the Autobots have to convince Megatron to team up with him to stop him. So if you're a Transformers fan, you want to jump on something new, this sounds really cool. This is our A cover. And then we have the Young variant.
So who loves Klingons? I'll tell you, so in the mid-90s, when I was like a teenager, I had a friend, and he got the Klingon dictionary when it first came out, and he was learning Klingon. We were trying to play a Dungeons & Dragons game, and we had to tell him to quit bringing the book, quit speaking in Klingon. I think we eventually attacked his character. So I know there are people who love Klingons out there, because boy, he loved them.
Hopefully he still puts that on his resume. It's like a skill.
Yeah, so, well, it's funny because since then there are a lot of people who are actually fluent in it. At the time, we thought he was being silly, but now there's a community for it. So, I am a fan of Star Trek, and I like all the stuff with the Klingons. They're always seen as villains, but as with any group of people, they're not all bad. So this is going to be some double-sized issues that are just going to be stories following Klingon characters in their own culture. So I think it sounds cool, sounds neat, and just sort of different for a Star Trek comic. Once again, these will be double-sized, so that gives them a lot of breathing room to really write some good stories.
All right, we have all new Firefly number 1, comes with an all new creative team and an all new crew, and this is focused on a new look for the Serenity crew. It's actually going to be an ongoing series. They're going to still have their trademark banter and high stakes and emotional connections and all that, but lots of shiny and new in this ongoing series from Boom. So this is our cover A and cool cover B wanted poster.
Next up is a very interesting book. This is World War III, Battle over Hokkaido. It's going to be a 5-part miniseries in a very manga style, but it is an Elseworld story, alternate history of the Soviet invasion of Japan in the 90s. And this is about Japan's self-defense forces must go up against the Soviet armored division that are intent on occupying Hokkaido. So, if you, it looks like a cool, very, not sci-fi war or anything, very realistic story with really cool art.
All right, horror anthology fans rejoice. From Black Caravan, they're beginning a new horror anthology series called Pentagram of Horror. I like the title. It's like you had like a dartboard full of horror words, and you hit 2, and you're like, it's perfect.
Blank of blank.
Yes, yes. Pentagram of Horror. So each issue is going to be standalone. It is going to just be one horror story about one group of people or other, and then the next is going to be completely different. So I'd say sort of like Ice Cream Man, except without that common thread of the Ice Cream Man. But then again, issue number 1 isn't out. Who knows what surprises they may have in store. So it looks like issue number 1 is called My Own Hell. So now we're going to get to cool covers and other comics. By other comics, we mean issues number 2 and 3. A lot of times people will read issue 1 or 2 and they forget to sign up for the series. So we're going to remind you about those while also showing some of the best variant covers of the week.
And that's what's starting us off. This is Alien number 10, the Panosian variant. You may have trouble finding this online. We had to hunt it down. This has a possibility of a terrifying new type of xenomorph appearing, so be on the lookout for this.
And next is Amazing Spider-Man number 91. This is the Ramos Carnage Forever variant. And this is also a cool issue because if you remember a few issues ago, Ben Reilly, or actually Doc Ock, was going through the Beyond Corporation and opening different doors and discovering some truly weird things. One of them was a room of talking sandwiches, which I was very happy with. Pretty much my highlight of that reading session. But in this one, it sounds like Ben is actually going to be going door to door, opening them, and it says behind each of them is a kind of a horror that could defeat Spider-Man. But what is behind door Z? And I just have in my notes sandwiches, maybe hot dogs. I don't know, but I can't wait to see.
All right, so this is the Carnero variant for Daredevil Woman Without Fear number 3. This is the last issue. It's a 3-issue miniseries with Elektra as Daredevil, and this is the finale. I assume she'll be going up against Kraven since he appeared at the end of issue number 1. So once again, here's the Carnero variant for that.
And same thing here. We have the last issue, number 3 of 3 for Devil's Reign, Superior 4. What is going to happen in the finale? We also have, this was cover A, the Wolf variant. A lot of Wolf's covers have been doing really well and selling out, so definitely one to watch.
And next up is Fantastic Four number 41. This is the Yagawa X-Gwen variant. I think it's interesting they actually have like the real Jubilee on there, and you see who she's dressed up as. So super cool. And then we have the Sousa Black History Month variant with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
All right, so this is the Panosian Carnage Forever variant for Moon Knight number 9. Really creepy looking.
Very weird, yeah.
Yeah, so in this issue, Moon Knight's, the people he's protecting get swallowed up by a maze, and Moon Knight has to go into said maze to try to get them. So it sounds like a very Moon Knight plotline to me, because the maze, I'm sure, is going to be partly in the mind. It's going to be cool.
And then we have a few Spider-Woman covers to show you for Spider-Woman 20. This is probably my favorite. This is the Peach Momoko Spider-Woman 20 cover. And then we also have the Perez variant. Sorry, not there. And then we have, sorry, not there also, Talaski X-Gwen variant. You know the deal on these. They're going to be under-ordered because there is no image here. So if you think you're going to like it, go ahead and secure your copy.
And then we have, man, this series has had some really cool covers. We had the Bermejo, we had the Kevin Eastman cover. This is The Thing. This is the Panosian Carnage Forever variant. Just super cool looking.
So here is the Bagley trading card variant for X Lives of Wolverine number 4. This is called Days of Omega Past. Mm-hmm. So from that, sounds like it's going to have to do with Wolverine and Omega Red. Yeah, which sounds cool to me. Then there's also 2 other variants. There's the Granov variant, and lastly, there is a Kevin Eastman variant.
Oh man, speaking of Kevin Eastman,
yeah,
love that. His Weapon X.
Now I want to show you a couple covers from X-Men number 9. This is a really, really cool Bustos Stormbreakers variant for X-Men number 9 with the Bifrost there. And then unfortunately, no cover here. This is the X-Men 9 Wernick trading card variant.
Then we have X-Men Legends number 12. This is the Carlos Gomez variant with a really cool Nightcrawler.
Okay, this is the Tedesco variant for Action Comics number 1040. Superman is still in the War World arena. That's what he is. That's where he's been. That's still what's going on. And then there is this Alexis Black History Month variant for it as well.
Oh, this is me. Aquaman Green Arrow Deep Target number 5 of 7. This is the cover B. This is what happens in this issue is Aquaman and Green Arrow go back to a Jurassic world of sorts where no one remembers who they are.
And then we have DC versus Vampires number 5 of 12. This is really cool. This is the Matina variant. And this one is kind of the big fight between Batman and the vampire Green Lantern Hal Jordan that's been the kind of the instigator of all of the horrible vampire stuff that's been going on.
That's funny. Yeah, Hal Jordan, you know, as Parallax, he
Uh-huh.
wasn't a very mean person too. He just has that
Yeah.
side to him, unfortunately. Okay, so this is Deathstroke Inc. number 6. This is the Ivan Tao cardstock variant. In this one, it says that Deathstroke is going to be the head of a new army. Like somehow he gets to be the head of an army. Will he use it for evil or will he use it for good? You'll just have to read.
All right, is this what I think it is? I was looking at a different cover. Okay, anyway, Detective Comics 1054. This is the Lee Bermejo cardstock variant for the Tower storyline going on in Detective Comics. I think all the covers on these are really good. The A covers are great as well, so go take a look at these. Pick your fave, because I know you're reading this storyline. Everybody's reading it right now.
I like that he did Robin on there, which is a little splash of color in Batman's very gray world.
Yes.
That's true. Good point.
Then we have this Harley Quinn number 12. This is the Derek Chu cover. This one's really nice to kind of shake up the format and do a landscape instead of a portrait. And in this one, Harley must stop a runaway train with a bomb on it. And the solicitation's funny because she's like, you know, Superman would just throw the train into space. Aquaman would probably use a dolphin or something. But how's Harley going to do it? So sounds like a lot of fun.
All right, this is the Francis Manapul variant for Robin number 11. The Lazarus tournament is over, so what becomes of all of the people who were in the tournament with Robin? It also claims that there are going to be secret crushes will be revealed.
Oh, no.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. Not quite, actually. And this is Task Force Z number 5. This is the Francisco Matina cardstock variant. Very creepy.
Then we have Teen Titans Academy number 12. This is actually the Todd Knock variant. It's cool to see Todd Knock returning to some of his Teen Titans Young Justice roots with these characters.
All right, Saga number 56.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm sure that unless you're under a rock or don't follow comic things, you know that Saga has returned with issue 55. So here's the next one. The solicitation says it is the most emotional comic out there. And it was also bragging because it says it's still only $2.99. So we were wondering when 55 came out if they would just
Bump
have
it
it
up.
for one issue.
Yeah.
But no, issue 56 still just $2.99.
Saga and Spawn, keeping it going.
I know. I want McFarlane to make Spawn less, like lower to $2.49.
Race to the
Just
bottom.
Dare him. Be like, I dare you, Brian K. Vaughan. Fiona Staples.
And next up, we got a few Star Wars things. This is Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 13. This is actually the last issue. So it's funny, they say this is the end of Phase 1, but we do know that IDW is no longer going to have the rights to Star Wars, so maybe Phase 2 is going to be booted up at Dark Horse. We'll have to see. But it'll be interesting to see how they round off this really popular series. But this is just for the Adventures one, not the regular High Republic. Then we have Star Wars 21, returning to Star Wars 21. This is the action figure variant. And then we have the Pagulin. I can never say his name.
Next up is Transformers Beast Wars, if you are reading this series. Number 13, Cover B by Philip Johnson.
15's more exciting. Just check the solicitations.
Okay, so this is issue number 2 for Usagi Yojimbo, Long Goat and Kid. What this is they are reprinting old Usagi comics, and I think they're coloring them this time. So this reprints an old Usagi comic called A Kite Story.
And then we have the next issue of Aerosmith. This is Aerosmith number 2 of 6. Some of our good friends around here working on this book. This is our A cover. Then we have the Kershaw variant, the Smallwood variant, and then the Renaud variant.
Then we have this really trippy cover, and for Department of Truth number 16, this is by Allison Sampson, who is also doing the interior artwork on this issue. It's all about, as you can probably tell, drug hallucinations, MKU Ultra experiments. It's going to be a trippy, chaotic issue.
Yeah, so many patterns to look at.
I know, is that one thing? It looks like a really creepy version of Flounder from Little Mermaid.
Okay, so this is the regular cover to Gunslinger Spawn number 5 in this issue. So Violator and the Clown, who used to be one thing, sort of, they've learned to split. And so now they're splitting so they can dual attack Gunslinger Spawn. So it sounds very troublesome. And here is the variant cover by Glepion.
Those legs go all the way up. Then we have House of Slaughter number 5. This is the Deladera variant.
And then Power Rangers Universe number 3. This is the cover F, the FOC reveal variant, part of the reason why you watch this show. So in this, a mysterious pod crashes to Earth as their legendary powers begin to fail them.
All right, more TMNT homage covers. This is the one for Barbarella number 7. It's always funny to see who's around those corners.
Yeah.
And then there's another one for Purgatory issue number 5. Even creepier.
Oh, this is me. This is me.
It's you.
Vampirella Dracula Unholy number 3. If you are liking this series, the bond between Dracula and Vampirella number 3 is coming out. This is the Besh cover B. And unavailable yet, but you know it's going to be good, the Adam Hughes cover D. And then it is ready.
Another one.
More TMNT homage.
It's like, is he being nice or sinister?
Yeah.
The flowers means he's being nice.
Yeah.
It's like that moment where you can't see each other on the wedding day, so they like talk around a corner and stuff. It's very romantic.
Okay, so now we're going to other printings and graphic novels.
Starting with, this is super, I don't want to say weird, it's cool, but I did not expect this. This is Dark Knights of Steel, The Gathering Storm. And no, this is not like the trade paperback volume 1. This actually collects the first 3 issues of Dark Knights of Steel. It's cool that there's a nice new cover with it. This is going to be only $6.99. And I wonder if this is kind of maybe a new way they're going to be going with, instead of reprinting every single issue, maybe they'll start doing these mini volumes of Dark Knights of Steel. Seems really cool. Only $6.99 if you missed the individual issues.
I like that. It's a good price.
All right, so Star Wars number 20 is going back to second print. So anyone who missed it or anyone who's collecting all things Star Wars, which I know some of you are, here is your chance to purchase it. It does say not final art, though.
Yeah.
So could be this isn't really the cover.
Yeah, that is odd, because that was the final art for the original cover,
So,
but
yeah, could get a recoloring. Who knows?
Luke's going to have a big bushy mustache.
No, it's just going to come out with the not final art at the bottom.
Oh, the not final art variant.
They'll just take the knot off and say final art.
And then another second printing. This is Venom number 4 second printing. This is the first appearance of Carson as Spearhead and debatable first appearance of Bedlam.
Yeah, it's like, I think they're saying it's like a second cameo because
Yes.
he's been in it in cameo. So you know how that goes.
So this book, Duel, kind of caught everybody off guard. We were kind of wondering, what is this, when we got a bunch of people calling asking if we had this. but it is going to a second printing. So Duel, this is number 1 out of 10 issues. It's a little Red Room like. This is about an FBI agent investigating a dark website called Duel, where its users, subscribers, are actually pitted against each other in real life, and a high school student ends up challenging the number 1 ranked person on Duel, and the investigator has to stop him before whatever happens goes down. So if you miss out on the number 1, which I imagine a lot of people
Most
did,
people did.
check out this second printing.
All right, so this is Heathen number 1, the Reserve Edition. So Vault Comics is about to celebrate their 5th anniversary,
Wow.
and in doing that, so this comic Heathen sort of started coming out in just trade paperback, and they're starting it again. This is going to be, I think, the 3rd part to it, but it's going to be individual comics again, starting with this one. It's $7.99 because it's going to have like some extra art that no one's ever seen and some extra back matter, stuff of that sort. So here's your chance to order Heathen number 1, the Reserve Edition.
Yet another second printing, Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer, number 1 of a 4-part miniseries. It's all there, you don't need me to tell you, but if you missed out on it, here is your chance to get it again.
Next up is Hell Phone Book 1. Not like I originally pronounced it, Hell Phone Book 1. This is a new graphic novel for $14.99 about best friends and neighbors Sissy and Lola. And Sissy finds a lost flip phone on the ground. How long has it been sitting there? Probably like 10 years now. And follows the instructions on it. And it kind of brings them into a grisly mystery that could threaten both their lives and their friendship.
All right, so check this out. This is The Question hardcover, Volume 1 by Dennis O'Neil and Dennis Cowan. So this is, what is it? It's like 916 pages for $99.99. And this is going to collect the question 1 through 27 and the annual. It's going to collect the Green Arrow annual number 1 that the question's in, and Detective Comics annual number 1 that the question is in. Of course, the question, he is the faceless philosophical hero whose secret identity is Vic Sage. So just $100 for this.
And also $100 for the Pacific Rim Ultimate Omnibus, for the first time ever collected from Legendary Comics. It brings together the Pacific Rim Tales from Year Zero alongside the sequels. And I almost said Pacific Rim. As I often do. So anyway, $100 for all that. And that is our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Comics from the Future. Before you go, please take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We always post new different content on every single platform. And if you are a local resident or anywhere near the surrounding Chattanooga, Tennessee area, we will be having comic artist Tom Nguyen here this week. We're super excited to have him this Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. He will be signing for us, so bring your copies. We also have plenty of stuff here. Of course, he worked on Superman City of Tomorrow, Batman Under the Red Hood, some barbed wire stuff. What else? What am I forgetting? JLA. So dig out your copies. Not Dustin to win, even though he has a good sense of humor about that. But we will also have content here for you to pick up, so don't miss that this Tuesday, February 1st, 4 to 6 p.m. All right, see you next time.